Hello everybody, Slim Kirby here. Welcome back to more of the Crash Bandicoot 2 playthrough. I felt like we were having a bit too much masculinity going on with Crash being the main focus, so I decided to switch to Coco for this next video. And I'll try to alternate between videos, making sure I end with Crash because it makes sense to end with Crash anyway. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next level here. Our first level we're going to actually try to complete anyway for World 2. Since we have done a little bit in Air Crash, nothing major, but still we have technically gone in there. But yeah, let's go ahead and get things started. Going to be starting with a snow level, which is interesting because we ended the last video with a snow level. But hey, now that we have the red gem, we can fully complete this level. Also, I have to admit, this is actually my second time trying to record this because I got all the way to the end of this level just to realize that I missed a box somewhere. I hate when that happens. I'm sure many people hate when that happens in Crash Bandicoot games because, yeah, it means you have to go through the entire level again and, you know, hopefully not miss something. You may have missed something very easy and obvious. You really don't know for sure until you reach the end and see that box count. And it also doesn't help that there's like a lot of potential boxes that, for some reason, the developers just found funny to hide from you or obstruct from view, which as a result could lead you to missing a lot of stuff in the game and just these levels in general. So hopefully that doesn't happen. We're going to jump on this red gem platform and go to this section. This section can actually be pretty difficult. You can get a lot of extra lives and Wumpa Fruit here, but the enemies are pretty intense, and there are some really annoying traps you have to look out for as well. But yeah, stuff like this, like, I don't know why the developers thought it was a good idea, but there could sometimes be like boxes behind these foreground obstacles, which is really, really annoying. So you just really have to be careful that you're not missing anything as you're going throughout the level. Because if you do miss something, you're going to be doing the whole level again. Also, I'll say from personal experience, I really hate those porcupines. Those porcupines are not fun in the least bit. I don't think there's any boxes behind that wall. I think I'm thinking of another wall later on. But yeah, for these porcupines, it's better just to avoid them, I've found. Which I guess makes sense. You don't need to kill them, don't bother. Boom. Yeah, I will lose a lot of Wumpa Fruit by doing that, but at this point I'd rather be safe than sorry, so just want to make sure I get all the boxes destroyed, not really worrying about getting all the contents inside them, as you guys might understand and expect. Okay, so we did make it to this part. This is really good because you can actually get a lot of Wumpa Fruit here. As you can see, there's a lot of goodies involved. And with the way this game works with checkpoints, basically if there's any Wumpa Fruit or boxes on the field when you grab a checkpoint, that stuff will be up for grabs again when you reload from a checkpoint. The only exception, of course, being 1-ups because, well, obviously they don't want you to grind lives in that fashion. You can still grind lives, just not the way you'd expect to, anyway. Okay, we still have a ways to go, I think. And see, this is where this starts to get really, really annoying and tedious. Particularly right here, because now we have to avoid both forms of these smasher things. Then you also have to make this annoying jump too. Ugh! And then these jumps, which are also very, very intense. Seriously, the game developers are jerks sometimes with some of these jumps. It makes you want to ask, like, what happened to you to make you this mean and this evil? I'm worried about your sanity, Mr. Game Developer. Really?! I knew I should have slid jumped, but, like, I didn't want to, like, risk it. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and just cut back there, since I pretty much made it to the end. So, yeah, hold on, guys. Okay, I made it back. Die. We're good. Okay, so we're not out of the woods just yet, though. We still have some more boxes to get, and I'm still not 100% sure where I missed my boxes the first go-around, so... You know, we'll see what happens. Boom, 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 boom. If you want to go back and get these, you can. Whatever, they're just normal Wumpa fruit anyway. There we go. Got another checkpoint, which is always appreciated, because checkpoints are nice. If it was possible to do so, I would marry a checkpoint. So yeah, this is where the game starts to be a little evil with hiding its collectibles. Seriously, why does the game do this? I have no idea, but it's really, really mean, and I don't appreciate it. Okay, come on. A little closer. There we go. Got a nice bonus room here. Okay, so I think we're gonna be on pace for doing it this time. I feel like I was very thorough with getting all the boxes and making sure I didn't leave any behind. But we'll see. You know what? Maybe I missed that one. No, I couldn't have, because I remember seeing 18 out of 18 when I finished the bonus area the first time. And again, just to reiterify. Is that a word, reiterify? Hold on, I don't think it is. Just to verify, that's a better word. Like I said earlier, the only reason I'm talking about doing it again, because I had a recording where I missed one box in this level and had to redo the whole thing because of it. We're good now. Okay, we're good, because I believe the ending of this section is here. And I came here with 109 the last time, so we have the rest of the boxes we need, so thank God. Okay, I can breathe, I can relax. I'm not sure which box I missed, though, but I'm glad I did it again because I wanted to make sure that I got it, and, you know, if it was a box that was, like, not shown off camera, or it was shown like you couldn't see it, then I'd want to, like, verify and show you where all the boxes are because of that. So yeah, there we go. 125 out of 125. A lot of boxes in here, but we got them all. And because of that, we can actually move on now. So hooray for that. So the next level we're going to go to is we're going to be paying another visit to Air Crash. Now, here's the thing. Air Crash, much like Snow Go, is another case where we actually cannot fully complete the level right now. We need to come back to it later on. Also, Coco, that dance is adorable. Seriously, you're awesome. But yeah, we cannot get the box gem. We can get the other gem and the crystal, though, so we are going to be aiming for that. And as you can see from the hint down there, we are going to be getting a tip of where we can find that other gem. Now, this is not really the introduction to death portals, because if you think about it, technically Crash 1 on PS1 was an entire game dedicated to death portals and death routes because you couldn't die at all. But even in Insane Trilogy, the colored gems, you at least had to basically be perfect throughout a level. Thankfully, in Crash 2, they changed that to just, you know, you didn't have to make it through the entire level without dying, but there is, at one point, going to be a death route, or a death portal you can go to. And on that portal, you can basically just need to make it to that point without dying. And thankfully, that is not too far into the level. But as I said before, we can't actually complete this level with the box gem, so I'm going to ignore all of the boxes, because there's not much we can do about those right now, so we may as well just continue as we are normally. We're even going to skip this bonus area too, because there it is, there's the death route. Now, one thing that is good to know is for these death routes is if you happen to die in the death routes, you won't actually lose the death portal. You'll actually still have that. You'll go back to the previous checkpoint and it'll, you know, still be there, which is good. I guess I'm demonstrating that right now by dying, but yeah, we don't have to worry about that disappearing or doing the whole level again, because we've already accessed it, so the game's like, okay, well, you already made it here, so do not worry about, you know, being perfect now. Now, with that, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure with that death right now, because it may have counted this as a death in the level, so because of that, it might be gone now. But we will verify that to be sure. If we see like a dotted line platform... Okay, no, it's still there. So yeah, as long as you access it once, you won't have to worry about it disappearing. Kind of dumb that I had those two deaths right there, but it is what it is. Okay, let's try this again. But yeah, basically this is just a small little path for the other clear gem, or for the other gem that's involved. Just gotta make it through it. I think in some cases, you don't actually need to complete the entire route. You just need to complete, you just need to grab the gem, and then if you die, like, you already have it in your possession. So you don't have to worry about, you know, doing the whole thing over again, but still, just to be safe, like, just to be safe, I would still try to... Also, I went ahead and did that because that was probably safer than trying to avoid the whirlpool. And there we go. We got the crystal, we got the death route gem, but the box gem will have to come back for later. But yeah, that is something you can actually do if you don't like the death route that you're currently traveling in. If you just get the gem that's in there and then die, then you don't have to worry about getting anything else. Although in the case of that death gem, I mean, if you got it, then you were at the end of the route anyway, so you may as well just finish the level. But in other cases, you can do that. Okay, so with Air Crash done, next up we're going to go for Barretts. Barrett is a level type you should be familiar with. Also, for some reason, I don't really know why, because I feel like it wouldn't have been that hard to make an extra model for this, but when it comes to these levels, you have to use Crash. I really don't know why. But yeah, these are kind of the sequel to the Warthog levels that were in Crash Bandicoot 1. Instead, we have polar bear levels, where you have to ride this polar bear named Polar through the level. You have to watch out for obstacles, and yeah, that's basically what you have to do here. It would not let me jump right there. What the hell? I was like mashing the jump button, but it would not let me jump, so I have no idea what happened there. Of course, with these levels, definitely expect a lot of death and a lot of restarts at checkpoints. Especially if you want to get all the boxes, because, yeah, if you miss a box, there's no way of going back for it because of the way these levels work, so you gotta be, you know, kind of careful when you're going through these. You can also increase your speed a little bit. I know that that's one thing speedrunners and people who are obsessed with time trials say you can do here with no penalty, pretty much. but because of my poor reaction time, I like to take these as slow as possible and only speed up if I have to, so please allow me to do that. Okay, I missed the box, so I gotta take a death. The one good thing about these levels is that they're generally pretty short, so you don't have to worry about spending a whole lot of time here, but you know, the deaths can really add up. So I'd almost recommend like saving your game beforehand. That way you can actually save some of your lives if you just have a really bad run and you don't want to lose a whole bunch of them. Here, since I'm like, you know, making progress and getting lives as I go, I'm not really worried about it too much. Also, I missed that one box, so going back to Deathland again. So yeah, if I still have like, if I still have over 20 lives by the time I finish this level, I'd be more than satisfied. Of course, another thing you got to keep in mind is that you will not have Aku masks for these levels, so keep that in mind. It's basically one hit, and that's all you get. I hate missing boxes in this. I think when it comes to these types of levels, I think it's pretty universally agreed upon that the best variations of these levels are in Crash Bandicoot 3. Honestly, I'd say these polar bears are the worst. The timing is just really, really tight. And it's very awkward for me personally. It's not bad, it's just, you know, of the three, Warthog, Polar Bear, and the variant in 3, I just have the least amount of fun with the Polar Bear ones. But there we go, we got it done, we got it done. No big deal, we got this. So yeah, going back to the Warp Room yet again. Next up, we have Crash Crush. But first, do we have any conversations with our friends? No, we do not. Okay, so, before we move on, you can grab some extra lives if you jump on Polar a couple of times. It may seem mean, it may seem rude, but he's a good bear. Love you, buddy. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to Crash Crush. I believe we just have the box gem here. Don't think we have any warps or anything else to worry about, so yeah, I think we just go through this normally. Of course, though, it is a boulder level, so you do have to worry about that. Also have a lot of boxes here. I think there is actually, like, when we get to a certain point, there is going to be a different route we can go down and get, like, a couple of more boxes or something. I think this level is just, in general, tougher than the other boulder level we did. Which kind of goes without saying, I'd say. Also, when you have these fences you have to dive under, if you're not being followed by anything, my advice is when you slide, hold the slide button down, because then you'll be kind of in a crawling state. And when you're in that crawling state, you can actually quite easily just kind of slide through the rest of the gate and not worry about taking damage and whatnot, like this. Of course, here, you don't really have much of a choice, but it kind of goes without saying. So this will take us back to the main path so we can continue. There's probably going to be a checkpoint coming up here in a second. There we go. Now obviously when you're in a section with the boulder, you probably do not want to you probably don't want to crawl because that'll slow you down, but yeah, see, this is where this is going to get a little more difficult than the other level we did, because yeah, you'll be pretty much expected to use more speed tech here. You also have to really, really look out for those mines, too. Okay. Here. I knew that was going to happen. That's okay. Got a speed booster. Come on. The boulder still seems like really far behind, though, compared to where I am, so I think we'll still do this just fine. But again, it's surprising that I was still, like, that far ahead, considering. Okay, so we got that. Jump. Making sure there was nothing up there. Boom, boom. Slam! Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Okay. Bonus stage done. And we're up to 40 lives, so we're still gaining lives. That's always good. You know, it's one thing if you keep dying, but if you keep gaining lives while you're dying, and you're getting more lives than you are losing lives, you're going to have a good playthrough of Crash. That's kind of how I feel about the whole thing. It's when you have, like, no lives at all, that's when it gets kind of annoying, because then it's like, oh my god, I'm dying all the time. I'm almost at game over. If I'm in the middle of a level, it's going to reset all the way. That's when it gets a little discouraging to an extent. Why am I... Okay, so when I hit that thing, I should probably be jumping immediately, I'm guessing. I still seem very, very far ahead of the boulder, though. Crap. And yeah, you have to body slam that. I guess it's good that you do get pretty far ahead, because yeah, you need to spend some time getting the belly flop in for that one boulder. So it makes sense. And we got it. Perfect. Okay, so that's Crash Crush. I think we only have one more level left. I could opt to go ahead and complete it, but I think I'm going to go ahead and pass on that. We are past kind of the 20-minute mark, so yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop here. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see if there's a cutscene, and yeah, we'll move on from there. Okay, see you guys next time. Later, folks.